'cause we young. Got time and we're wasted. Got no plans for the night. I love how you look at me. Feeling low, nothing to lose.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Meshi with Path to Wellness with Meshi. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. And as you can tell by the title, in today's video we are discussing the top 5 zero waste swaps that you can make today. What are the biggest and most important elements when it comes to your self-care, when it comes to your personal care? So we are going to be focusing on personal care products specifically, and I'm going to be sharing with you some of the best swaps that I personally have made in the last few months, so that way you kind of have a little bit of a direction. So if you wanted to see my thoughts on what were like the top 5 recommendations when it comes to making personal care zero waste swaps, stay tuned and let's get started with the video. Okay, so personal care is, well, it's personal, which means that it might trigger certain things for you when it comes to like swapping them out, especially if you're female and you have certain preferences like this girl did. It took me, let's just say this, it took me a little while for me to comprehend and to understand why I really wanted to make swaps to more into an eco-conscious alternatives. And so I thought that I would just share like what has been the thing that has worked for me the most. So let's start with number 1. What is the number 1 thing that I have started swapping out pretty much right away once I decided that I thought that it would be like the most eco-conscious choice to make? You will already feel me on this. It was this guy. It was shampoo. Shampoo has been one of those things for me that just took me a little while to really. Shampoo is personal because a lot of the eco-friendly alternatives are not the greatest. So as you may have seen in some of my other videos, I have definitely gone on this journey, and it's a trial and error type of thing. But I was very intrigued when I have found like little shampoo bars. And I didn't realize how much I hated traveling with shampoos until I discovered shampoo bars. This particular one, I'm currently testing it out. I will leave, well, first of all, let's just say this. All of the products that I will be mentioning here in this video, I will leave the link to all of them in the show notes if you ever wanted to check them out. But I picked this little guy up from my local zero waste store. So I'm currently testing it out, but I like products that are small, compact, not really a lot of bulk packaging, and it doesn't really leave my hair really dry and brittle. And this guy has definitely delivered. If you go to Lush is excellent at selling you little tin, like stainless steel or tin containers. So then that way just makes it really easy and convenient. You dry off your shampoo bars, and then that way they last a lot longer. They become very, very eco-friendly because the ingredients that they put in here, it's not going to be contaminating the water supply, it's not going to be contaminated, and also it's not going to be toxic, which is another big thing that I have noticed, that a lot of these swaps, they're actually better for you, they're better for the environment, they use a lot less packaging. And a lot of the times I've been finding a lot of local companies here in my own town that actually make them, which makes this so much better overall. Like, just energetically speaking, the way that you feel about these products, it makes a world of a difference. So this would be my number 1 tip for you, is to get started with shampoo bars. If you've never tried them, it takes a little while for your hair to get used to them, depending on how chemically treated your hair is. I will do a full separate video on shampoo bars and how to get started with them. But for now, my number 1 tip is, my number 1 item to swap out would be shampoo bars. Let's move on to number 2. I didn't realize that this was a thing for me, just like shampoo bars, but it is. So I used to use the Nivea Invisible Black deodorant, and this was, like, as you can tell, I still have a tiny bit left. It smells beautiful. I really liked it. Glass bottle, whatever. Super toxic for you. By the way, if you're wondering why I still have this, I'm currently in the middle of emptying out my bathroom because we're getting ready for a renovation. So I thought that this is the perfect time to purge and to get rid of it, which is super exciting. But I mean, I've had this for many years, and then finally now, one of the eco-friendly swaps that I have made for this, that I have a recommendation for you, is a company called Routine. If you've seen any of my monthly favorites, you already know I'm a huge fan of Routine. Routine happens to also be a company that's local here in Canada. So yay, Canadian companies, they just make me so happy. This is actually my second I almost said second jar. I make that sound like it's like a jar of goodies. It kind of is, if you ask me. So this is a natural deodorant. It doesn't have, it's made with coconut oil with magnesium, and it has kaolin clay. Most of their products do have clay in them. And one of the main, and I mean, it's like the smell is ridiculous. It smells really beautiful. They have a ton of different scents that you can choose from. If you go onto their website, again, I will leave them in the description to make your life easier, but they also have like these little trial sizes. So cute. Okay, so they're super cute, tons of scents to choose from. And they're very effective. Again, if we're looking at packaging, it's like really thick glass jar. I mean, the top is plastic, but what can you do with that? But overall, you get this, you keep the jar, and you end up finding 20 different uses for it, which is kind of what I appreciate about products like this. The big thing is that, like, think about where you're putting this. So I remember seeing some of the natural skincare lines talk about this, and I have to agree. You end up putting this in your armpit or wherever you're sweating. And usually wherever you're actually sweating, there's usually major lymph nodes, lymph channels, veins, arteries that sort of run through, which also means that ends up going back to your heart. You don't want a lot of toxins. You don't want a lot of chemicals in that area. It's very delicate. So if you swap nothing else out, swap out your deodorant, because it makes a world of a difference. Like a lot of these products, a lot of these personal products, they go on different areas of your body that really make a big difference. So having a really good natural deodorant would be like one of my number one swaps. I'm still gonna go with Shampoo Bars as my first one, just because you end up washing your hair quite often. But still, this is definitely takes number 2. Okay, let's move on to number 3. I feel like we're moving right along here. Okay, number 3 is we used to use Colgate. As you can tell, it looks nasty. It's ready to be thrown out. I've had this for many years. My husband used to love this thing. And I swapped it out to the Nelson Naturals Activated Charcoal Toothpaste. One of the best. It looks scary. It is scary, kind of. Like, it looks like it's like a face mask. It's not a face mask. It's actually toothpaste. One of the best toothpaste that you will probably ever use in your life. A little bit messy along the way. Totally worth it. It will clean your teeth, and not only will it clean your teeth, it will whiten your teeth like almost nothing else that you have experienced. And I believe that these guys are Canadian as well. Yes, proudly Canadian in BC. I love how like most of the products I'm picking up right now are local and from BC. Like, you must appreciate that. Basically, with Nelson, again, a glass jar, tin top, so their packaging is definitely on point. Overall, their products are amazing. I did try a couple of different flavors for these toothpaste, but whenever you're using charcoal, it will have such a nice, first of all, charcoal is going to have a detoxifying effect. It'll end up cleaning off the bacteria in your mouth quite well. I believe it also has, as far as I remember, yes, charcoal, colloidal silver, sea salt, calcium, sodium bicarbonate, and it has a little bit of peppermint. The other scent that they have also has cinnamon in it, which also kills quite a bit of bacteria in your mouth. So just keep in mind like where you're using it, and using it in your mouth again, you can go wrong. So I highly recommend that if you can get your hands on these guys, they are absolutely worth every penny, and it lasts you a really long time. So between charcoal and Collidio silver, you are definitely taken care of, and you know, Colgate's got nothing on you. That's all I can say. Moving on to number 4. Oh my gosh, I just realized I don't have 5, I have 6. Oh. Okay, the next item that I wanted to talk to you about, and it kind of goes hand in hand with oral care, is actually the toothbrushes. So I still have, well, keep in mind, like my kids still have so many of these plastic toothbrushes, and I bought them the little bamboo toothbrushes. The main reason why I love these, besides the fact that the bristles are actually softer, when I'm comparing the two sides, I find that the bristles are softer on the bamboo brushes, and also it's a lot more sustainable. Whenever you can get something with the handle like bamboo, then all you do at the end of its life is basically you can just cut off the bristles, and you can recycle that, and then the bamboo itself can go into your compost. With this, let's hope that it will get recycled somehow. That's sort of the only thing that I will say about that. I'm quite happy that I bought both of my girls little bamboo brushes. They love it. They use it every single day. And you know, like cute, super cute. This one is actually made from Ola bamboo. Again, I'll leave it in the description so you can check them out. I'm pretty sure that Amazon sells it, and wherever they sell it, I will just leave a link for them. But they have so many cute colors, it's ridiculous. So if you want to get your kids, that's one thing that's really interesting, is that you can actually get your kids on board with the zero waste lifestyle and with making more eco-conscious choices in your family, is just by simply buying them like little things like a toothbrush. It makes a world of a difference, and they absolutely love it, and kids are usually totally on board with this. Moving on to number 5. The battle here continues. So the next item that I have swapped out, that I have an alternative for you on, is just disposable razors. Disposable razors are, I mean, my husband still uses these, and then I use this. So I ended up buying him, if you probably heard me talk about this quite a few times, and I cannot rave enough about the stainless steel razors. They're just super sustainable. Quality wise, they're so well made, especially when you compare it to a plastic alternative. It's, in my mind, there's really, it doesn't compare. So here's the thing, it completely comes apart, and I think that most of you already know this. So it comes apart like this. So you just kind of take the handle off. I will try to do this so that I'm not cutting myself. So the blade comes off. Well, this one is ready to be changed, obviously. So the blade itself, you can get like a 10-pack of blades for like maybe $3, $4, not even. Each blade would last you up to about a month. Super sharp. You will find that it is a transition for you to go from something that has like 3 or 4 blades. Like I believe that this guy has, so this one has 3 blades. So you're gonna be transitioning from 3 blades to 1. You need to kind of learn the angle of how to hold your razor, and also the handle is a lot heavier. So when you're comparing the two, this one is super light. This one, most of your weight is actually right in the handle. So as long as you take your time, you're not in a rush, and you actually learn, then that way you're going to be avoiding like nicking yourself. But overall, it's so much better, so much more sustainable, and I've been finding that my skin does not get nearly as irritated as it did whenever I used to use just just the plastic razors. So I'm quite happy that we made that switch, and that would be some of my top recommendations when it comes to making, just for personal care items. It's, oh my gosh, it's a must-have. Okay, let's move on to the very last item. I love how I have an alternative for all of these things. This is basically just from Burt's Bees, the facial cleansing towelettes, makeup removal, like wipes. I would always have these. I would have so many of these wipes, and I would think that they're like the greatest thing because they're so moisturizing for your face, and then they remove all your makeup. I ended up switching over to a couple of different things. So I have This is the makeup wipes, makeup towels. So basically this is what she looks like. I have this one, and I have this also in pink as well. I picked this up back in the day with Sephora, and you can get them at Sephora's website. There's two different sizes. It's just a microfiber cloth, and there's basically a softer side, and then the other side is it has a little bit longer fibers coming out, and really it's very, very soft. You can use it with your cleanser if you do use cleansers. I usually just remove my makeup with this, and you can also get something like this guy. Now this is from Pi. This is a global organic, so this is an organic cloth. It's sort of like, it's a lot thinner. It's like your organic cotton, like really thinly sewn, basically makeup remover cloth. What I like to use with this is not so much to remove my makeup, but I usually wet this, and I have an oil cleanser from Mad Hippie. I will probably just create a separate video if you guys wanted to see like my full skincare routine, but this is what I would use for that, where I would wet this with warm water, and I would put it on my face, keep it on for maybe 10 seconds, and then I would wipe off the cleansing oil. It's perfect for that. It's very soft on your skin. It's not abrasive at all, and having something like this instead of just throwaway wipes is perfect. Now, whenever I'm traveling, I usually take these little guys with me. I have about, I don't know, 6 of these. These are just like, again, cotton. Basically, I use this instead of like cotton wipes, but I can also use this to actually remove parts of my makeup if I really need it, or I have used this also with toners. I rewash them every single use, but between like these 3 products, I don't really ever buy any makeup removal wipes because it's just really, there's no point. So this is all I wanted to share with you guys. Here's your question of the day. Let me know in the comments, which one of these do you already have, and what is the next personal item in your bathroom that you're looking to make a swap on? What is the number one thing that you're willing to make swaps on? I would love to hear from you, because I find, especially with personal items, like cleansing items, that sort of thing, whenever we're talking about personal skincare products and personal items, then it takes a little bit for you to sort of warm up to the idea of making a swap from a conventional product. So I would love to hear from you. What is the number one thing that you are getting ready, or you need a little nudge on, that you're willing to make swaps on? Let me know in the comments. And I wanted to thank you so much for taking the time to connect with me here and join me for another video. I so appreciate this. If you are brand new here, please consider subscribing. You can also hit the notification bell so that way, you don't miss another video. We usually chat here on this channel about 2 to 3 times a week, depending on the week. And we go into topics like zero waste and conscious living. We sometimes create some spiritual rituals. We go into mindset shifts and how we can manage anxiety a little bit better. And in the meanwhile, just keep shining, you guys. And I will see you guys again in my next video. Bye.